We're on. Hi, everyone. Welcome to Actifio On-Tech. Today is Thursday, January 3rd. Happy 2019.
New Year.
And, we've got some audio issues. You want to adjust the volume over there? We have some audio issues. So hear that? We're trying to fix that real time. Use that. Use the knob and put your headphones on there and listen.
Do you think it'd be like New Year, New Us? We wouldn't have any issues.
I know. Wouldn't that be good?
Not true.
Or you could adjust the volume too on the software. Well, while we're doing some adjustments, let's talk about the beer that we have today, because I figure people can catch up with that. So there we have from Trillium. It's called Pot and Kettle. It's an inspired collaboration with Barrington Coffee Roasting Company, with decades of experience hand selecting, and it's like too much of this. Like a fresh coffee pours a dark, almost black color with a dense sepia brown head. Aromas of fresh brewed coffee, nutty, cocoa, dark fruits, burnt caramel, and subtle vanilla waft out of the glass. Whoa, someone really spent a lot of time thinking about this one. Moderate in body with medium carbonation, deep roasty flavors of cacao, earthy kava, mocha, toffee, and dark malt sweep over the palate with open creaminess and gentle bitterness. Is it better, Gio?
There's still a little bit of a hum in the background.
Is it the fireworks?
No.
It was a joke.
Oh, sorry. Okay. Anyway, so you want to take an open on it?
Well, I thought we'd introduce our guests first.
Well, I know, but I'm very excited about beer. See, I got my new focus
New
here.
year, new you.
New year, new me. It seems to be focused on beer. Although I do have a bit of a New
You
Year's
see the influence that
resolution
Gio and I and Chris
It is
have had
true.
on him?
It is true.
Bad.
It's sad to see.
So why don't you guests introduce yourselves, please? Start on the far right.
Rachel. Nice
Rachel.
to meet you guys.
What do you do at the company?
I am the marketing and events coordinator along with our lovely intern, Devin.
Second time on-Tech. I'm very excited.
Same here. We are getting up there in our ranks here.
Yeah.
More than some people, that's for sure.
That's true.
That's great.
They're on their way to be regulars.
But it is my first time in the fancy new studio
Yeah,
that we
same
have.
here.
That's true.
So it's
That is
awesome.
true.
You
We got the
guys
fireworks
wonderful.
behind
That's
us.
true.
Yeah.
New Year's
There you
fireworks
go.
behind us.
That's all very fitting.
That's great.
Yeah.
But we have some audio snafus, as unfortunately.
There's always
have
something.
it.
Always
I
something.
know.
A little bit of a buzz in the background.
We'll fix it. We need new people.
Did you guys get a Trillium recently?
No, where did that?
Right before Christmas, so it's actually.
Okay.
So now I have a question. Can you taste every single one of those flavors when you drink that beer?
I agree.
Yeah.
Although
I
it's
mean,
like-
that's
it's
a
like-
lot of flavor.
Depends on how many beers you have.
Yeah.
Okay.
There you
I
go.
think it's like wine. It's different. Depends what you put beforehand, all that stuff. So
Yeah, but how can you fit that many flavors in one drink?
it's marketing.
It's like Willy Wonka of
So
beer.
it's marketing. I know. I agree.
It's marketing.
All right, we have some audio issues. I'm going to step aside for a moment and deal with that, as deeply upsetting as that may
All right,
be.
I'll pour the beer.
So why don't you pour the beer and let me look at it?
Dance.
This one. I didn't really realize
How did you-
many there really
how
were.
did you open
I
that?
just typed in a different.
Oh, you're just typing the same thing. Yeah.
So why are some
My
beers?
hands-
Do you want me to
My hands are swety. You gotta try.
Too bad you have a
I
lunch.
get so nervous. And
What was I gonna say?
Why are some like this and some aren't?
What do you mean? So that's called a growler, and so basically what they'll do is they'll take a keg and tap the keg, and basically,
I'm determined to get it off.
and basically,
It's not. It's like this hard. You try. You have. She has
My
big
man
hands.
hands.
pour it in there.
She literally did.
But so like they have cans, they have bottles, they have these types of growlers. They have. This is a small. They have a large one too, which is more like the jug handle one you probably
Yeah,
seen.
yeah, no, totally.
Then they have cans that are this big called crowlers, like 32-ounce cans. Where the same thing will happen, where essentially they're taking it from a tap, and we'll fill it up and then seal it for you, and you take it home like this.
Cool. Wasn't sure if there was any significance.
No, not really. Just different delivery models.
Trying to be swaggy.
All right. Have your glass, please.
Of course, thank you.
Thank you. Just the cord. Over here. Yeah, see how it's cracked there?
All right.
So we had a cord issue. It has since been resolved. Hopefully.
I'm glad that you were able to open that.
Yeah, man hands.
You opened it?
Of course I did.
Mrs. Muscles?
I couldn't open it. My fingers were sweaty.
Wow. Is that what happens when you're
nervous.
sitting next to these
So nervous. Sitting
interns
next to
and
girls.
employees?
Say
Exactly.
intern.
I know, intern and
Sorry,
employees.
yes, you're right.
Thank
My
you.
apologies. There you go. So cheers.
Cheers.
Cheers, guys.
Okay.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Thanks for having us on
course.
On-Tech again.
Yes,
awesome.
honestly, this is awesome. Are we supposed to like smell it? Why did you make that face?
Like watching Jason's face.
That was unbelievable.
That's got a lot of oatmeal. I was like, ooh.
Oh, do you?
It does.
Not like oatmeal.
No, I do. But
Oh.
I didn't know what to expect. I don't really smell that much coffee.
Coffee and oats.
All right, so let's talk about stories today.
Okay.
And I will talk about the one that jumps out
Wait,
at
why are
me
you going first?
because it's very timely. Angry.
What about our guests?
But this is one that's happening right now.
Let's hear it.
Apple stock today is down just under 10%, which is a lot. That's 15 points on a $142 stock.
Yeah.
And the reason why is because they announced that they weren't going to make the quarter because they weren't selling enough, essentially, iPhones. And they somewhat blamed China.
Yeah, China. Yeah.
They did
Increased
largely.
demand. Yeah.
But then I wonder, like, is the new iPhone family, the XS and the XR, like, do those get people who are iPhone users, which neither Jason, actually you are an iPhone user, I am not. Does that get you guys fired up? Like, are you thinking you need to upgrade?
I will say, because this really hits home, I was in the store
Yeah.
ready to buy
Yeah.
an iPhone X, and I was like, no, I actually really am not into the whole, I wasn't ready to move from the home button. I like having
Oh,
that.
fair.
And I'm like, I'm sure I have days where like the phone's gonna not recognize me, and I'm like, that's great. That's really hits home. But
Yeah.
I just wasn't really into the whole idea of moving from at least having one button on the phone where I could rely that
Right.
it would work
Right.
if the screen doesn't work for whatever reason.
So you
But
didn't?
I went in there and all the employees were like, are you kidding me? Like, you have the ability to get this with your upgrade right now. And I was like, I honestly am going to get the 8 Plus because I liked how it had a lot of the same features minus the home button being gone.
For you,
So
I appreciate that.
I went with that. Maybe if they have another update soon, I'll go with the next version. But for now, I totally was in there, and everyone was like, "You're crazy! Like this just came out. Are you sure you don't want this?" This was like a couple months ago, granted, but still.
How about you, Devin?
That's my tech.
So actually going off of why Apple's stock dropped, I actually found a story and the title is 7 Reasons People Are Keeping Old iPhones
let's
Much
hear it.
Longer.
Well, we got one from Rachel already. No home
So-
button.
I really was stuck on that.
Yeah.
So a lot of times when you look at the iPhones, like all the accessories are so expensive.
They are.
The iPhone XS, I mean, I'm in college. Buying a new phone is ridiculous. I don't even think about it. I constantly break my phones, and having to get the screen fixed for $50 is a huge expense. So in this list, it says a lot about new phone, new problems. So there's no headphone jack, so maybe you have a favorite pair of
Right.
headphones that you can't use. Not having a home button to rely on is also a big deal. And then they also talked about Apple's new update with the iOS 12, I believe. I have an iPhone 6S. So my
Me too.
phone did the update, and everyone says, oh, the iPhone 10 is so much faster, it works so much better, but with this iOS 12, it actually can make older iPhones even faster than the 10s. So when you really think about it, if something breaks on your iPhone 6 compared to your 10, it's going to be way cheaper. You're going to have way less problems because these newer phones, they haven't been tested as long, and they're just going out in the field now. So how do you know what problems you're going to have? How do you know how much it's going to cost you? So I think that's probably why they haven't sold that many iPhones, is because people are just sticking to their old ones.
Makes sense. What you're comfortable with.
Yeah.
Well, the other thing I thought I heard, I was reading other stories, which has happened over break. Did you read these, Jason? That there was talk about one of the new updates for these new phones just came out, and that it actually was causing a lot of problems. And it
Really?
was phones weren't working properly, and people were complaining. And I
think that
personally
was the
wouldn't blame
12. I think
them.
that was the 12 update actually.
Yeah, and
I
it was.
waited a
Was
while
it?
to do that one.
It was frustrating
Yeah.
for people. I don't blame them. My phone updated didn't work either. I'd be mad as well.
Definitely.
So plus, other people got it for Christmas probably, and we're all excited about it. Only to
then it
find it
doesn't
not
work.
working. It's like, great, just what I wanted.
That definitely happens every so often with
I know it
Apple
does.
too.
I know.
I wait a little bit until the update's kind of gone through its cycle.
And then you
to
can do 2
update it.
Totally.
updates. So the first one doesn't work, and then,
And then
you
they
quickly
fix
do
the
the other.
Right.
update for
Yeah.
the other one. Yeah,
I had that problem with my Mac at work. I
Yeah.
updated it inappropriately against corporate policies
Yeah,
too
yeah,
fast,
yeah.
and I got in trouble for that.
Yeah.
And it didn't frickin' work. And I kept getting warnings from IT that they're going to shut me off because my
Really?
laptop somehow was misbehaving.
Oh my god.
I don't even know.
Yeah, I mean,
It
I
was-
have an iPhone 6 too, like Devin.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
for me, I think the biggest thing why I won't upgrade is at first I use it only half the time. I use it for work.
Right.
So everyone knows I have a Pixel 2 because we've talked about that in the past as well. So I do have one of those losers with 2 phones, but whatever. That's besides the point. You know, all these side businesses I've got, right?
And I concur with his mentioning that the iPhone X is $1,000 as well.
Yeah, so
Yes.
also,
Oh,
but A, they're
right.
super expensive.
Thank
Then
you, Adam.
The biggest thing
Big
for
fan.
me is the headphones. Like I don't have earbuds, and it's like I don't want to get those.
Yeah,
Right.
then a little thing to
You keep
change
losing the
headphone
dongle.
and
I'm
a
worse
little-
losing it. I have
Yeah,
those. I
I'm
hate
all set
that.
with that.
I can even keep
I know.
track of the big one from my laptop. So how am I supposed to keep track of it?
I know.
Yeah,
That's true.
so I'm all set with that. I'm good.
So as one follow-on, so maybe the big savior. I'm sorry, were you done with your?
Yeah, no, I'm good.
Maybe the big savior is there was a patent issued today, or the first, sorry, where Apple licensed smart fabric. So maybe the next thing is going to be Apple clothes, iClothes.
That
Maybe
would
that's
be
what you're going to be
something.
buying.
Can you replace the gym so I can just put on a sweatshirt
Wouldn't that be
and
cool?
it works out for me? Because that'd be really nice.
So it says it could do everything from sensing environmental changes and warning the wearer to responding to pressure and touch.
I'm all set with that.
Oh, big woo,
I am-
woo, woo,
No,
woo,
that's-
hey!
That's too much for me. Too far.
Just like that stupid microwave from Alexa, that Alexa microwave. And the
Oh, remember that? We talked about that.
This is for me that is on the lines of
There was
that
an Alexa
stupidity.
toaster. It was
That sounds
pointless.
pretty well.
well, my brother got a toaster that cooks hot dogs and toasts the bun at the
I've
same
seen
time.
that.
Yeah,
See, that's a
that
cool
does seem pretty
toaster.
useful.
That
would use
is
that.
very
It's
Pretty
fancy.
cool. He also eats like 16 hot dogs a day, so it makes sense for him.
He's gonna die in like 5 years.
Oh yeah, I know. He's on his way.
Here's your brother's
All right. Well,
Alive.
now since Jay hogged all the spotlight with the first one, why don't one of you take the second?
No, that's not true. Devin and I partnered.
Yeah, because this was one of my stories too.
Yeah.
Don't let Jay off the hook.
Oh, jeez. He's
Don't
just
hate
cranky.
Jason.
Don't be a hater.
Jason needs a
Don't
nap.
be a hater. Be
I
a
did need a
lover.
nap, a little cranky. Not gonna lie.
after lunch.
Big lunch today, so
Definitely
feeling it for sure.
I mean, this isn't anything too like newsworthy. This was just something we had as like you know, everyone gets Alexas for Christmas these days because
Not
that's
me.
the thing. Oh,
I have
I'll
one.
send you my old one.
No. I'll kick it out the window.
I'm good with it. Like talks to me sometimes when I'm just like talking to my roommates and
Hey.
it's just kind of a little sketch. that's
Really?
listening
Yeah, I
to
hear you.
me. But we were just looking at different games now that they offer for Alexa to play. You can just tell it to do anything because it literally does anything you want it to do. But we were just going through a couple of them, and they have everything from you can play bingo with your family to tic-tac-toe to rock, paper, scissors that she will host for you. Blackjack, if you're really feeling Vegas-y.
Have you tried any of these?
I have only, actually, no, I haven't. I've only listened to the news.
I'll try
be like-
one. I'll try one tonight.
Yeah, where did you find, like, the whole game thing for this?
I found this on.
Because they have something called
CNET.
Escape Room, Song Quiz. I think it's great. I mean, I think it's awesome that you can. It's good and bad because it's kind of sketchy that Alexa is listening to you at all times.
Right,
We
sure.
talked about the whole Big Brother
right.
syndrome of it, but at the same time, I mean, it's always in your common room and where you're listening to music. So it works as something like instead of if people don't have board games per se or, you know, something like that, you can just talk
Board
to
games
Alexa.
are-
You know, it's too hard to draw the
Right, the
lines
whole
for tic-tac-toe
paper.
yourself. I mean, that's really
Yeah, so
complex.
let's have Alexa
It is.
do it.
So you might as well have her host the game for you.
Or like rock, paper, scissors. It's too hard to do that.
So
You just-
she tells you what to do.
Yeah,
Because
thanks.
who wants to talk to each other anymore? Just have Alexa do it.
But it totally just like gives you perspective on where everything's moving because it's like, okay, you can't even simply
Isn't
have-
that crazy?
do rock paper scissors that she's gonna tell you what to do type of thing. But
Yeah.
nothing too exciting.
I'll test it out tonight.
Yeah, you
Test out the
should.
Alexa.
Do you and Tucker have one?
He has one. I use it more than he does, I think, but I love Alexa. She is.
I changed mine
awesome.
to Amazon because I felt weird calling her Alexa.
Yeah, I
When it
see.
first came out, I'd be like, Amazon. Because I was
Amazon.
like, I don't want to call you by first name.
She's kind of like a little, like my own personal butler.
I'm not convinced there's a lot of value there, honestly. Ours is unplugged most of the time. But even when it's plugged in, like, what do you use it for?
Timers.
That's the thing I find it most.
Timers is good.
Timers is good for food. I use it for
timers.
that.
How many cups are
But then I
in
have an oven.
How many
I have
ounces
it in the
are
oven
in
or the
a-
microwave.
I know. I use that most of the time.
If you want to talk to the CIA.
These
Yeah,
young, young people.
We have
I
it
know.
for music too, like while you're cooking.
But we
or
use
cleaning.
Sonos for that. I love Sonos. I'm a big fan.
Oh, okay.
And it's better audio than
Alexa?
Yeah, than the
Yeah.
Echo.
But we have all these different speakers, but I like Alexa in the
I do
kitchen
want it.
and then the sound touch for everywhere else in the house.
Well, Erica has the Amazon or Alexa that you can talk to and it shuts off her lights.
I
and
love
turns
that.
them on and
It's so
everything.
good.
I have that.
So there are a lot of good
I mean, I have
features to it.
plugs I could do that with. I don't do it.
Yeah.
Alexa can do everything. I
know.
love Alexa.
You can now.
But she's off most of the time in my house, so that kind of defeats the
She's
purpose, I
probably still
suppose.
listening to you too.
You're right. You're right. That's
Like,
right.
Unplugged.
Don't tell my wife that. Don't tell my wife that. She's
Not
gonna
gonna freak her
come
out.
back and wrap him in tinfoil or
Be like
something.
in the river.
Yeah.
But that is what we have here. Nothing.
How's the beer?
It's good.
It's all right.
Oh, you don't like it?
Oh, tough guy.
It's all right. It's not my favorite. It's not my least favorite.
What don't you like about it?
It doesn't leave a lasting impression on me. What can I say?
It's got a bit of a thickness of the of a stout, but it doesn't have the body. You know.
Well, it's a porter.
I know. That's the point, right? But
I'm
I've gotten into stouts lately.
I'm not a huge porter guy.
Huh?
It's not one of my most favorite styles. So, hey, to each their own.
Didn't even know there were different types of beer.
Oh god.
Well, I don't
Until I
Let's go turn
started
into beer
working
talk.
with the marketing team, I thought there was just light beer and dark beer.
Yeah.
And that's, so I've learned a lot.
There's a lot to learn. Trust me.
Stouts.
Very important life lessons.
See, no one else in my family drinks beer, so I
Same.
can't really
Yeah.
do anything with it.
So, I'm going to talk about something that I thought was cool because I'm kind of nerdy. If you haven't figured that out yet,
It's okay.
Really?
right? I know, huh? And I've been following the new Horizon Spacecraft. Has anyone been following that? Does either of you know what that is?
The one going to
No.
the sun? That
No,
was
it's
another-
going the opposite direction.
Oh, I
It's
see.
it's that spaceship that's gone past Pluto.
Oh, yeah.
Like it's gone
What?
4 billion miles.
Still
It's gone
taken?
It's gone like 4 billion miles already.
When did they? How long did that take?
A long time.
Yeah.
So
When did that launch?
it was launch. Oh god, the article I have probably won't tell you.
What's it
that.
called?
Oh, it's called the New Horizons
Okay.
spacecraft. It'll tell you when. But
Had to be like-
the coolest thing was that 1 billion miles past Pluto, it came across this asteroid. The
January 19th, 2006.
There you go.
Wow.
The asteroid's called
When you were like 7.
Born.
Born. Yeah, right.
7? I was 8. No.
No,
98?
Close.
no, it was 90.
Oh my God.
January 19th,
You're so close
2006.
to
2006.
I don't know.
It's 2008.
See why I asked Alexa to do math for me?
Yeah, she was 8. You would have been 8.
I was 11. I was 11.
Oh, so I was.
and
So
She
I
would have
was
been 8 or 9.
6.
Yeah.
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 So it ran into
That
an
makes sense.
asteroid?
No, it found an asteroid. This asteroid is called Ultima Thule,
Yeah.
and it's unique because it looks like a snowman.
Is
It's two like
What?
Yeah, so here's a picture of it right here. See?
Is it Ultima Thule or Ultima Thule?
Shut up. I don't know. But see, it looks like
So it looks
you
like
can
a
see
snowman.
Snowman-ish.
it. Looks like a
Shoot,
snowman.
too bad. I should put it on the camera another time.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. And I guess it's unique because they call it essentially, well, how it was formed. It was a bunch of small asteroids that started to like come together, and then it became 2 big ones, and they just formed together as from the spinning. They were in each other's, they were in each other's kind of
No way.
rotation, and so they started to spin together, and they connected. They call that a bilobed object.
That's
Bi-lobed
Yeah.
object. Wow.
And so, like I said, this has been a cool thing for them. They've been able to take awesome pictures of Uranus. Funny joke there. But I do. So you find out who the immature ones are.
No, I
God.
just
When you say a
like
joke like
classic
that.
Yes,
say
there we
that.
go.
Classic joke, though.
That would Jason would say that. of
And then
course.
Pluto as well. So it's
Specifically
taken.
picked it for that reason. For that quote.
Pluto, which is no longer a planet.
Well, that's debatable.
Well-
Depends who you talk to.
When I grew up, it was a planet.
I
but
consider
it's
it a
not.
planet
Me
still.
too.
It
but-
was
planet.
when I did too.
It's a planet.
Does it revolve around the sun? It revolves around the sun? It's a planet.
Does it?
I don't know.
Does it
Yeah,
still or
I think
they
it
can't
Then how did they
get
determine
over-
it was not a
Get
planet?
out of here.
Our resident astronomer over here who doesn't know what he's talking about. But anyway, I thought it was cool. So yeah, it's already 1 billion miles past Pluto now. It's going to go forever. I don't know how long as far it's going to go, but especially it was created to explore outside of our solar system. So
That's
it's
pretty cool.
Cool.
And it started doing that already, so it's
Into
pretty
the
cool.
galaxy.
So what do you think is going to happen now? The world's going to end, invaded by aliens. What?
No, I just thought it was
No?
cool that it's going out there and checking stuff out and tell us more about the places we know nothing about.
Especially
I hope
if
it
it's
finds
out there
something.
for that long. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Have they come back with a lot of info from it, or is it just kind of
I think
floating out
it's
there?
just taking pictures. I don't know. To be
I hope
honest
it
with
finds
you.
something interesting.
Yeah, Pluto. When did it technically become not a planet?
Yeah, how
That
did you
happened
decide
when I was
that?
when I was a little kid.
Really?
Yeah, because Pluto
Like
was
what,
a
like
planet
2 years
for,
ago?
Okay, that's what I'm saying.
like a little kid.
Like last year, yeah.
No,
So
the
I
change
remember-
happened like maybe 5 to 7 years
That's
ago.
what I'm saying. Like 09-ish is when I.
Yeah.
Because I
Yeah, I
remember
guess
it
it
being a
is sending
planet.
data back on all of these things. So it sent data back on this asteroid, it sent data back on Pluto.
Neptune?
So, yeah, I mean, it went by it, so probably, I don't know.
See pictures of Neptune.
There's a picture of Pluto here. You want to see that? Oh, there we go. Let's see here. Oh, yeah, there you go. It's kind of blurry, but.
Pluto's heart. Ah, yes.
Aw.
Makes it feel very warm and fuzzy.
Interesting.
It has a heart shape on it, too. Yeah,
I
it's
had no
pretty cool.
idea.
It is Pluto, yeah. So, land beyond whatever you want to call it. What's the Star Trek quote? Is there a Star Trek quote somewhere on there? I'm not a Star Trek guy. I don't know.
My recollection is weak.
From Star Trek.
Yeah, so I had a story this week from space as well, related to China.
I heard about this.
So the Chinese, pretty cool,
Yeah.
landed something on the moon. You might think, well, everyone lands on the moon, or we have many times. But what they did that was different is I know the dark side of the moon. They landed on, now the misnomer is the dark side of the moon, but it's not actually dark. It's just the side that doesn't face Earth.
Right.
And so they actually had something. To get it there, they had to put another satellite in orbit so they could talk around the moon, because otherwise the moon blocks the signals. So they had 2 hours ago, or I think earlier today, they had their rover. It wasn't a rover. It was just a landing thing on that non-Earth facing side of the moon.
The dark side of the moon. Pink Floyd.
But it's
I was
not
just gonna
dark
say,
though.
what
That's
do
the
they call the,
problem.
How is it not dark?
Because it still gets sun. It's just always on the other side that we can't
It
see.
only gets sun when,
There's an
We're on
eclipse.
the
When there's a
opposite
lunar
side of the sun.
eclipse.
right? Yeah.
When there's a lunar eclipse. 'Cause
Well,
that
it
will
doesn't
go-
rotate. The moon doesn't rotate, so it's only certain times that it gets light.
So the far side of the moon is the hemisphere that never faces Earth due to the moon's
Right.
rotation.
Right.
It is sometimes referred to mistakenly as the dark side of the moon, even though it receives just as much sunlight as
Yeah.
the
Right,
Earth-facing
makes sense.
side.
How does it do that, though?
because it's in between us and the sun.
Because
Right.
so here's
Sun
Earth.
gets sun.
Here's the moon. Here's the sun. It's, they're both going
Because it
around.
does
Right.
not
Gotcha.
rotate. It doesn't
Yeah.
rotate.
Yeah.
Okay.
Orbits us.
So I thought that was pretty interesting. Hopefully they'll find some
That
stuff.
is interesting.
It's called
The moon-
U-2-2 or the Jade Rabbit 2.
They're gonna
Jade
find
Rabbit, that's
pyramids.
interesting.
They're gonna
Yeah.
find pyramids, Jay.
Yeah, the aliens are going to land. That's it.
That's where the aliens live. Yeah, on the other side.
So that was what I had. That was a
That's
quick
very
sort of
interesting.
side note that I thought was curious. Kind of cool.
So they didn't send people, right?
No.
Just
Right.
Unmanned spacecraft.
Exactly.
Gotcha.
Unmanned spacecraft.
How many people a year go to the moon? Would you
What?
say?
None.
Zero.
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 17?
Zero.
Zero.
You really think no
Annually?
one's going to the moon anymore?
Who goes to the moon?
I don't know if they're doing some weird stuff up there.
Could be more.
What?
Could be.
It's the Apollo program
not a
sent them all to
vacation-
the moon,
it's
and
not
that
a
was like in the
vacation
60s.
destination.
Well, you know that Rich Branson's like trying to send people up there
Trying
and
to,
stuff.
but they haven't achieved.
But not to the moon,
He
just into
recently
orbit.
was able to, yeah. It
They
was,
went outside the atmosphere.
Well,
Right.
I think that's a step.
We
in the
reported
right
that here,
direction.
didn't we? Report
We
that
did
here?
report that here.
We're on-
Did you?
we're on
You heard
top
it here
of
first,
things.
folks.
Reported it
Yeah.
here first, actually. That's right.
That was one of my
I'm a little
stories one a few
behind.
weeks back.
Welcome
Last
to
week.
that
Last
day.
one, I
Yeah,
think.
he called me up. He was like, "Hey, Jason,
Richard?
we're
Cool.
on tech. I'll tell you a little bit."
I DM him
That's
here
right.
asking
Way to
for a
give you the
ticket to the
exclusive.
moon.
Yeah, I'm going to his private island next week to hang out. It's cool.
Sweet.
Exactly.
they say that our children, by the time they're in college, will be able to travel to the outer atmosphere like we fly planes. They
Doesn't
say.
surprise me.
Pretty crazy.
I'm sure that's
Well,
true.
what would you want to do in the outer atmosphere?
That is exactly
Can't you
right.
travel
Look at the Earth.
faster, right? Faster travel.
If you get exposure to radiation. So it's like
That's true too.
What radiation?
But you would think that if it becomes
thick radiation that.
But
the
if you're in
Earth's
a
atmosphere
you're in a
protects
craft that's been built to probably protect yourself, people. From
Probably
You had a
is a
spacesuit.
hard
Only
probably.
a spacesuit.
they're gonna have
What do you mean?
space
How these people,
instead
all
of
these
built into the
astronauts go out
seats.
on the satellites and work on them in their spacesuits if they get radiation?
Ask them, call them up. You know Richard Branson, he'll hook you up.
Yeah, exactly.
I'll have him call you, set you straight, buddy.
So, to answer your question, Rachel, by the way, the last manned flight to the moon was Apollo 17th, December 7th through 19th, 1972.
Really?
So it was well before you were born.
That's crazy. That was the last time that someone was on the moon.
I think so.
Visibly?
Yeah.
Really?
That's something that I find that really shocking. I feel like
do
they would
too.
want to go
Yep.
and get more data like every so
Samples.
often.
Just rock and
And it's probably really
So expensive.
expensive.
they have rovers that can do that too, like the
Right.
Mars rover
Yeah.
will go and collect Earth, collect dirt and send it back.
Military sends people to the moon.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. It's
What, are they
probably
gonna call you up and tell
Conspiracy.
you?
not public
Conspiracy,
info.
I like it.
Area 50.
They're up there.
Area 51 is on the moon. That's
Area
right.
51 is. I'd like to know a little bit more about that.
Yeah,
Area
that's
51.
something that is
Area
such
51.
Want to know?
sketchy.
The world of
place.
the internet is right at your fingertips.
Well, I once watched the movie
but this
Independence
is
Day.
unfortunately blocked by the government in that aspect,
Yeah.
unless I go into what is it, the
Dark
dark web.
I want to learn more about the dark web. How do you get on the dark web? That's
It's
no idea.
We can figure it out. Have you ever done the
darkweb.com?
dark web question boxes?
No, I think it's all.
And they
Sun's
send
going down.
things.
Go online when the sun goes down?
Yeah.
Oh, that's a good
wow.
call.
Everyone's full of jokes today.
Well, I'm saying the very factual movie Independence Day stated that there was a working flying saucer at Area 51. In fact, they used that to attack the aliens in the movie and save the world.
It's true.
It's got to be
Will Smith.
true.
Gotta be
It's
true.
got to be true.
Absolutely.
Seems legit.
Yeah.
Definitely.
All I have to say is something ain't right in Area 51.
Something ain't right. It's right.
Those are telling words.
Thank you.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, excellent.
All right, I had another topic.
Go.
Does anyone know what CES stands for?
AC.
Electronic
CES.
show?
See,
Oh.
Is that what it was?
Yeah, Consumer Electronics Show.
that's what I was gonna guess.
I have no
but-
idea.
Ah, well done.
So it's a yearly show in Vegas where all of the Sonys and LGs and Samsungs will basically preview their products for the year. So it's coming up in next week actually in Vegas.
Cool.
And wanted to know, ask the poll the team here if there's anything that you'd be interested in learning about at that show. What kind of technology in 2019 would you want to learn about or see?
I have a few. Should I go? Or do you
Yeah.
want them?
Nope. First.
You know, there's all kinds of talk about new cell phones. Apple just had theirs. Samsung has the new Galaxy S10s they're talking about.
Oh, that's
so those, I don't know if they're going to be announced there though.
I think S10 might be.
Yep. The other thing that's coming out is a bunch of new, I'm a camera guy, and a bunch of new cameras are coming out. Like Panasonic has a new camera, Olympus has a new camera. So there's a bunch of these are coming out there. I don't know if they're going to be there, but yet something else that I'd be interested in. Those are three things that jump out at me.
I agree with the cameras. I had the opportunity to take a photography class
Fun.
while I was in school, and it was film photography, so they were older cameras.
Really
But
fun.
I haven't gotten to experiment with a lot of digital cameras just like in stores because they are so expensive. But if
Have
you,
to be. You can get them cheaply.
yeah,
Yeah.
I should.
This guy set this whole place up. He can hook you up with a deal.
That's
Yeah.
right. There
Yeah, he
you go.
knows people.
That's right.
Loyalty discount.
Yeah.
Something I would be curious about, I don't know if this is just hearsay, but I saw a weird, the little articles that pop up on your webpage sometimes. I saw like glasses. Like, is Snapchat coming out with like special glasses?
They did a while
With, like,
I
a-
thought so too, yeah.
That was a few years ago, yeah.
I'm thinking maybe one of these companies would come out with like special tech glasses.
Yeah.
Google Glass.
Well, Google
Glass.
Was it a couple of years
Yeah,
ago?
yeah.
No, that was a couple of years ago, but I did see an article about CES that says they're coming. someone
Making
else is
them more
coming out
accessible.
with another one as well. I
Yes,
agree.
that would be interesting if they have something like that.
The Snapchat glasses were interesting. It was like a really hands-on,
How
like
long ago was
first-person
that?
experience. 2-3 years ago, tops.
Yeah.
I am just
Right?
so out of the
Would you
loop.
say? Yeah. More.
Honestly, I didn't know what they did.
Yeah.
I didn't know.
They were pretty
like
popular
these
too.
round,
Were they?
like yellow speck.
Totally. They were kind of cartoony.
They were very
I thought they were
cartoony.
black and had like the little yellow circles on them.
Yeah, they did. Right there. Well,
Huh.
you could probably go multiple colors, but
Where was I?
it was.
You missed out.
Living under a rock?
You were in high school.
Yeah.
I was gonna say
You're in high
kindergarten.
school. Kindergarten.
I'm actually 13.
We have a 13-year-old on our show today.
Yes.
You wouldn't know it, but
I think wearable tech.
she
would be
did sign a waiver.
Yeah. I did sign a
Wearable
waiver.
tech. Yeah. Cool. Anything for you, Rachel, that you'd want to see?
I'm like you said about the camera situation. I was always getting phones for the camera feature, and I used to get like a bunch of cameras on the side when you would get like the Canons and all of that too. But then it turned into the phone cameras were better than the actual cameras that you were buying in the store, and you got it all in one. So I know that like a Samsung actually is supposed to have a lot better quality than an iPhone. So I've always been like torn in that sense, but I can't get away from the Apple. That's
Same.
just me.
Adam Kerwin says Oculus Go.
Oculus Go.
That's what it is. Is that the
That's
the
cool.
Google one, right?
Those are that's
Facebook.
Facebook?
Right? They own Oculus.
Right. Yes. You were right.
VR
My
goggles.
cousin did that. That's pretty cool too.
Yeah, that
Because
is
you can
cool.
add an animation
okay.
to
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
It's like you're an actual like animated
Virtual.
Right.
person.
It's like you're in a screen, you're in a
Talking
world.
to
Yeah.
it.
It's cool.
Cool.
Those are definitely interesting. I'm surprised those haven't taken off more.
I don't know if there's
know.
enough sort of use cases. Like anyone has
Right.
any like silly video games. I guess that's kind of fun, but
Yeah,
that's
but
not
It needs a little.
compelling.
I think
Yeah.
you're showing an example of why it hasn't taken off. People don't understand how
Right.
to use it.
Right.
Yeah.
Right?
Right.
Thanks, Adam.
Yes,
Name.
I know.
Thank you.
Sure.
Number one fan.
Exactly. Cool.
I'd be interested in learning more about how 5G is going to shape up.
Oh, I've
I found
read a lot about
story on that.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
Yeah.
5G, wireless
Kind of a disaster.
service, but it's coming, as
Disaster.
well as the new TV. So I just bought a PS4 Pro with my Amazon gift cards for Christmas. So now I need to
Nice.
buy a 4K TV. And so looking at the TVs, I know that 8K is coming out. So I'm already
Really?
behind. I'm already way behind the
I
scenes.
believe,
in this.
I know.
So all of these OLED and QLED TVs from LG and Samsung seem
even
pretty
know what
cool.
that is.
Right? Exactly.
yeah.
So there's like all this new technology I gotta
I just
look
buy
up
the
into and
cheapest
see
one.
what to get and stuff like that. So those are kind of the things I want to see. And then they do some gaming stuff too, and now that I have a new system, we'll see what kind of games are coming out, see if I'd want to
Yeah.
buy one at some point. But
Are you into like the virtual reality at all?
no, I don't have any of that stuff. I've never
Because
done
it's
that before.
compatible with the PS4, right?
Right.
It is.
That
Yeah.
would be kind of cool.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe
They're
at
really
some
coming
point.
along crazy with them. Like I've seen people really freak out using that stuff because they really get into it.
Mm-hmm.
Have you ever used it before?
Virtual. So you ever go to the mall and you guys see those like the the white eggs?
Yeah, yeah,
They
sure.
have-
Yeah,
I,
right.
I sat in one of those one time and that was the craziest thing I think I've ever done with virtual reality. But we also bought my dad the thing where you can clip your phone in it and
Yeah.
you just wear it like the big
Oh,
crazy
right.
goggles.
What is
That-
that called? The
Google
Samsung one?
goggles?
Oh, Google goggles. or
Yeah, that was really.
We gave those
cool.
away
But
at a trade show, I think, at one point.
something. Really? That's
Yeah.
cool.
But they're like a cardboard box. They're a glorified cardboard
really? Yeah,
box.
really. I mean,
They're
it's
really
just,
nothing more
they
than
just
that.
hold it, and you can buy like little apps and things
Right,
that
right,
look
right.
3D, like you could walk around, but it gets boring after like a couple
Right.
minutes.
And they're totally.
sure they're-
You're right.
Coming
Yeah.
somewhere.
So there'll be some cool stuff coming out of that. I guess micro LED TVs is the thing that Samsung is doing now, which is even better than QLEDs. So
Oh, please. I mean, there's not enough content for 4K, let alone 8. And
there's no 8K content.
I know. There's barely any 4K content.
I know. I hear you.
The other thing they were talking about was that HDR thing, too. Same problem. But
Right. Yep. I agree. We'll see.
well, that's it, I think, right? Anyone else? Any other
No, I
stories
don't
they
have
want to
anything else
share?
to share.
You got anything, big boy?
I'm good.
I think we're good.
Kind of hit
All right.
some new news.
All right. Well, I'm out, but well, I need to refill later, but cheers, everyone. Thanks for attending. Thanks to Adam, our biggest
for
fan.
having us.
Thank you, Adam.
Thanks, Adam.
Happy
Love
New
you.
Thanks to our
Year,
special
everyone.
guests, too.
Please, we are
Fabulous.
more than happy. Thank you for having us.
Yep.
Always a blast.
Always
New Year's,
is.
everyone,
Yeah,
too.
Yeah, Happy New Year.
2019, everyone.
I got a new cable. That cable is just a problem.